For those of you guys joining today, we have an expert practitioner on. He should be joining us real soon. His name's Mark Shihadeh. So he was on last week. We talked about tapping, the basically what is faster EFT, how can you tap. He gave some really, really good examples on why you need to tap and how to take that next step with it. So if you want to, you can go back to, I'm sorry, I'm getting a message from Mark now. Hold on. Let me see. If you want to, you can go back to last week's live on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. So it's all under the Flip and Shift. And then we're working on uploading these videos on our, hey, I'm sorry, we're having some technical difficulties with Mark getting on. Hey, Mark. Okay, I'm bringing you on now. We have some really good information on all of our platforms, our Facebook page and our YouTube page, and as well as Instagram. And hey, guys, I want to get you guys updated on what's happening with the Instagram page. Let me see if I can get this going here. So while he's getting ready to join us, I'm kind of going through the announcements here, guys. I just requested him to join, waiting for him to come on. So we're doing some things with our Instagram page, and you're going to notice some changes. We're trying to get everything. Hey, Mark, how are ya? Can you hear me? Good.
I can hear you. Can you hear? My headset's not working yet, but it should be working soon.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of like an echo, but that's okay.
Okay.
I can anybody hear Mark pretty well on their end? I just want to make sure. Joni, if you're on.
Sometimes it takes a while to connect sometimes.
Oh, yeah, it happens. It happens.
Hello.
And hopefully my AirPods are not an echo, because sometimes that happens too.
You sound great.
Oh, good. Okay, I can hear you. So, oh, great. Thank you, Tiff. All right, Tiffany's on here, guys. So just wish her well. She right now is dealing with some issues at home with some power outages stuff. So she's not able to join us live today, but she's here. Obviously, she's going to help out with Q&A at the end.
Okay.
Like I said, hold on, Mark. I want to introduce you, but I'm just going through the announcements so you'll have the entire hour to yourself.
I can try to be patient.
I know you can. All right. So our Instagram page, guys, is going to have some changes to it. We're trying to get everything, all cohesive to our website. As well as our Facebook page. So a lot of things are going to look different. Our designs are going to look different. So just bear with us, be patient. We've got this time to do it. So why not? Also, again, so this live, once we finish, when we wrap up, it'll be available for 24 hours. And then we'll download it to our Facebook page and our YouTube group. So you should be able to access this live as well as last week's live with Mark, because it was a really good live last week as well. So go to our YouTube channel, go to our Facebook pages and our Facebook page and our Facebook group, and you should be able to access Mark's live from last week, talking about tapping. Okay, also two last things, and then we'll get started. The two last things are, we're going to hold off on our Friday lives because many of our followers are following us on Fridays. We have our 9 a.m. Central Standard Time live on Instagram. And as of right now, we're kind of just pushing that off till probably mid to end of May, because we have a lot of really good stuff, guys, coming on. We have practitioners coming on like Mark. And so next week we'll have Tammy. Tammy Magnuson is going to be talking about conversations between child and parent. You guys, it's really important right now how we need to be aware of how we're talking to our kids. I can tell myself, this is going to be really needed for me, because I find myself getting frustrated. Now, a lot of us are multitasking as parents. We're doing e-learning, and some of us are working from home. Some of us are having to keep, maybe you're a caregiver as well. And it's really frustrating right now. And what we say to our children impacts them down the road. Trust me, you want to tune into Tammy because she's got a lot of really good things to share with you guys next week. So it will be on Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. For those of you guys that usually tune in for Tiffany and I, it'll be Tammy Magnuson. She's a level 4 EFT or faster EFT practitioner, and she'll be on talking about how to speak to our children and be in that awareness state. And I think it's really important. And then one last thing.
Just a shout out to
sorry.
Tammy. I know Tammy. She's my buddy. She's my co-practitioner. I know her daughter has been to the trainings because they've been doing some special ed stuff with Robert.
Okay.
Tammy is amazing, and she's an amazing mother. So I can't stress enough how awesome Tammy is.
Yes, and I can't imagine for her. She's got 5 children. I'm like, it's mind-blowing to me. Like,
I didn't know she had 5.
3. I've got 3, and I some days want to lose my mind. I can't imagine 5. But yes, yeah, her daughter's awesome too. So, and my son actually, Priella. And on a personal note, my son works with her to work on some, emotional type stuff. And I have some personal experience with her. So after her live next week, if you want to reach out to me as well, just to get my take, I can tell you she is awesome, just like Mark said. So, and then one last thing. During this time, and as we're going through getting all these practitioners on board, we have several practitioners. They're going to be talking about, like I said, next week, Tammy's going to be talking about child and parent dialogue. Then we also have a practitioner by the name of Lolita. She will be on talking about chronic illness for 1 week. And then she's blessed us with a second week to talk about, body image, food aversions, food sensitivities. There's a lot of people that follow us that are dealing with that. And
Say the name again, Julie. I don't know if your internet went out. Say the name again. Who's coming?
Lolita,
okay.
And I cannot pronounce her last name.
Right. Okay. Good.
Yeah. What's her last name, Mark? Do you know?
I don't know how to pronounce it either, but I know her too. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So I'll post her name and everything, so that way we get it right for when she comes on. We just started working with her, so I'm so excited for her to offer, to be able to come on during those 2 weeks. So she'll be on after Tammy. And then we have a lineup going into May and into June. So look at our Instagram page, look at our Facebook page, and you'll see that practitioner lineup. So we're really excited about that. And behind the scenes, Tiffany and I are working on our workshops. So we did our first awareness workshop, and now you guys get excited. We have an awakening workshop. Yeah. Is Lolita on?
Lalta.
Mohina.
Oh, is that her? Oh, no.
Mohini. All right, cool. I think we've got it. Sorry. So I know I feel bad. I butcher people's names, but my last name was Czechoslovakian, so everybody butchered my name all my life. I just got used to it. But anyway, so we have some workshops coming up. Again, we just did our awareness workshop, and then we're going to be launching our second workshop, which is our awakening workshop. So stay tuned for that. And we're starting to drive people to our website. So that's where you're going to be going to register for those workshops. So just stay tuned. We'll give you guys all that information, in the upcoming weeks. But all right. So I think I got through everything, and I hope I didn't eat through too much of your time, Mark. But I'm so excited. You guys, he's back. And this is Mark Shihadeh underneath here. So
hey, guys.
Mark.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Mark's back for this week's Expert Live, and he's going to be talking about the law of attraction principles. What is law of attraction? How can we utilize that in our lives to basically get what we want or get the life that we want, right? So,
right.
Yeah. And so without further ado, this is Mark. Mark is a level 4 faster EFT practitioner. He's got several platforms, guys, to get in contact with him. First of all, he has an awesome podcast with all of this great information. He's been doing his podcast since 2018. It's the Tap It Out podcast with Mark Shihadeh. It's SHIHAD on Apple Podcast, Podbean, and Spotify, but I think he's on other podcast platforms as well, right?
Yeah, most places where you can listen to your podcast. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. He also has a Facebook page. Do you have a group as well?
It's a group. It's a group.
Okay.
I mean, I do have a page. I don't use the page, but the group is where
your page is awesome. Your group Facebook page is awesome. Like, I get a kick out of it.
Thank you.
It's called the Tap It Out Faster EFT Tapping and Law of Attraction page. So you guys.
So tap it out is, tap it out's the other parts of the description. So if you search Tap It Out, you should find it in groups.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Tap it out.
And then Mark has a website. It's www.markshihadeh.com. And again, we posted that last week on our IG and Facebook page, so you can access that as well, but we'll post it again for you guys. All right, Mark, without further ado, we've got a big meaty topic to talk about. I call it like a big hamburger to chew on.
Meaty,
It's
yeah.
meaty, but
Hmm.
honestly, the way my week is gone, it's highly freaking needed for me today. So,
Okay.
yeah, I need this. So, the topic is leading edge law of attraction principles, and
Right.
I'm just going to go ahead, and I know a lot of you guys, some of you guys are kind of new tuning in. And I just want to give, I know last week Mark talked a little bit about his background and just kind of brief
Yeah.
history on who he is. If you're okay with it, will you kind of do that again? Because there's some newbies on here.
Yeah, I'll try to do it very quickly.
Okay.
I've always been someone who's into self-help, and when I was a young guy, I worried a lot, and I used to just overthink things in my mind, and my whole family kind of worried a lot. So I used to just read books, self-help books, Anthony Robbins, and different books on self-help. And then my aunt sent me a tape of Abraham Hicks, The Law of Attraction, in the
Okay.
late 80s. And I thought the information was amazing. So I set out to really study the nuance of how to make the law of attraction work in our lives. Because like a lot of people, when they first learn about it, they get excited and, oh, okay, I can attract anything I want. I want to attract
Right.
things
Hmm.
and manifest things. And then you learn, well, it doesn't, there's a way to make it work. And well, it's always working, but there's a way to make it work in your favor.
Right.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'll tell you one quick story. I used to have and I talked about it a little bit last time, but I'll just quickly go over a little bit more detail because this is related to the law of attraction. So I had a recording studio for 6 years, and that was what I was going to do. I was never going to have a 9-to-5 job. And after 6 years, I'm like, you know what? I need to try something different. I knew that I wasn't having fun anymore. So I wasn't sure what to do. I had a degree, but it was in communications, interpersonal communications. And I didn't get the degree to get a job because I was never going to have a 9-to-5 job. I was going to always do my own thing, work for me. And so, and that started, I didn't know what to do. And I quit the studio, so I wasn't bringing in money, and I was broke, and I was living at the time with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. I was living with Kelly in San Carlos, and I needed to pay rent. So I started to do temp work, and then I tried to start a little jingles business with my recording studio equipment, and I really tried hard, like I did with my other business, and that failed miserably. So
Okay.
I was like, oh wow. I started to lose faith in myself. And I mentioned last time I went through the dark night of the soul where I lost all faith in myself. And I would go to these temp jobs and they were kind of depressing and not making a lot of money. And I'd go from one to another. So, and in the meantime, I'm struggling. Like, what do I want to do? I want to do something that I enjoy. And I got it, I was depressed and I was having a hard time.
Yeah.
And so what I decided to do, I'm like, my way's not working. So, and I knew the law of attraction principles, but I wasn't doing it to where I really needed to make it work. So the idea was this: I couldn't attract like a job that I loved, that I loved and paid me well, from a place of stress and worry and anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm worried and stressed and anxious, I'm going to attract more of the same of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, okay, well, man, I got to do something to feel better. And they say like raise your vibration to feel better. And so what I used to do, I started to drive around and park at places with nice views. And I would just sit in my car and chill out and meditate and relax. Now, here's the thing. So that's what I would do. And I'm trying to apply the law of attraction principles to kind of relax and just be okay with where I am. And then there's the other voice inside of me saying, dude, what are you doing? You need to hit the pavement and keep searching. And, the Western society of work hard to make something happen.
Yeah.
And that's actually counter to how to make the law of attraction work. And unfortunately, a lot of us apply that way of, I'm going to make the law of attraction work. So I'm going to visualize and I'm going to focus and I'm going to affirm what I want and try hard. And we often, more times than not, we get in our own way when we do that. So when I started to chill out in the car,
that's so true.
Right?
Yeah.
And I know it firsthand. So when I started to chill out in my car and just relax and learning how to relax and learning how to shut off that little voice that says, dude, you don't deserve to relax. You got to make things happen. Right. When I worked, that was my work, not to find a job, but to work on softening that voice and having a different voice, a different inner dialogue saying it's okay and you can trust and things work out, that type of talk. And as I did that, after a few weeks, I attracted a cool job. And then I attracted another cool job. And then I attracted another one where I made I was doing very well. I was making a lot of money. I loved what I did, get financially set to where I can, buy a car, marry Kelly. And so it was a big proof to me that these, along with over the years studying the law of attraction, I wanted to master how to make it work. And so that really told me that this stuff really works. And I really learned the details of how to make it work in my life. That's one example. So,
okay. Yeah. Well, if you say the word law of attraction, what is that? I mean, how can you give like a definition of it?
Yeah. Well, my definition is we attract what we expect, think about, and believe. That's good. So we attract what we think about, expect, and believe.
So even negatively, if you're thinking negative, right, you're going to attract something negative. Okay.
Yeah.
Positive or negative, right? Both
Absolutely.
ways.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. All right. So with law, thank you for that. So with law of attraction, when you said I'm thinking of it as forcing it. You're forcing a belief or you're forcing a mindset. Is that a mistake for people, or what are some of the common mistakes?
Okay, well that is, and we try to be soft with our mistakes, because what we do, because I've made them all, and then we learn from them. So it's just everything that we do is okay, even if we're trying hard. It's okay that we're trying hard. Hopefully, we'll learn that we need to relax more. Okay. But you're absolutely right. What happens when we try to attract something we want, we really focus in on something, and we don't really think about why we want the things that we think we want. That's a huge, right? So if I'm lonely, I think I want a girlfriend, and so I want to attract the girlfriend.
Right.
If I'm broke, I want to attract a lot of money, but if I'm broke, I don't feel secure, financially secure. With the law of attraction, high level law of attraction principles, I need to feel secure inside of me first. Okay. Okay. So does that make sense? And same thing with attracting. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that makes sense. Keep going. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all right. So it's the same thing with attracting someone to love, right? Am I attracting a girlfriend because I'm lonely? If I want to attract a girlfriend because I'm lonely, then, I might attract somebody and they're going to be based off of that lonely attraction, that feeling. And it's not going to be necessarily what I want for long term. So what I want to do is deal with that loneliness inside of me first. Maybe it's a lot of self-love. Learn how to be okay in my company. Learn how to be happy alone. And then the dichotomy is when we learn how to be happy alone, that's when we can attract the mate to be icing on the cake of our lives.
So are you saying, it kind of ties into what we did last week, right? So if you're dealing with loneliness, then how did you learn about loneliness, and why is loneliness unsettling for you? So do you kind of have to backtrack a bit and determine that for yourself in a way?
Yeah, you can, yes, absolutely. You can. So we talked about tapping last time. You can tap on your loneliness. You can tap on reasons why being alone. There's lots of reasons why being alone. We don't like to be alone. We feel actually anxious to be alone. Sometimes we are very busy. So instead of being alone, we want to go shop or we want to go hang out with people, and that's fine to hang out with people. But are we running away from ourselves as well?
I see a lot of. You know what else I see a lot of with my friends? A lot of people are really busy moms, people that are working in the healthcare industry right now and overstressed. And then they come home and they're just like, I'm just so sick of this stress. But yet I feel like the next thing they're telling me is, yeah, I decided to get a puppy, or, you know, add more stress to my life. I'm like, you just got done telling me that you are stressed out and that you're overwhelmed, but yet you don't take the time to relax and set some time for yourself. And you keep
Right.
adding more stress in there. That's what I see. So they're attracting that, correct?
They're attracting it. Very good. And, from what we talked about last time, we understand with tapping and faster EFT tapping that there's a pattern. We get into patterns of stress because of our past lives. So
Right.
as I mentioned last time, our current problems are based off of our past experiences and memories. And so if we come from stress and we witnessed our family go through stress, and we have been stressed in our life, and we don't really kind of go to those memories and change them, then we're just going to attract more stressful situations, and we're on automatic. So yeah, we will get that puppy to add more stress. Consciously, we don't want to add more stress, but we're kind of on an automatic pattern that's maybe not what we desire, because we have past experiences.
So how do you get away from that? What can you do to get away from it?
Well, that's why, like, my podcast and my Facebook group and what I'm all about is a combination of faster EFT tapping and law of attraction principles. And faster EFT tapping, and it's also called Utaptic.
Yep. Can you hear? Sorry, it was cutting out. It really cut out. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Say that again.
Hi, Laurelina. So that's why I like to do faster EFT tapping, or it's called Utaptics, with law of attraction. The combination is amazing. So that's how you deal with it. You kind of go through past experiences, and you learn how to tap and change different memories so that you can attract from a place of what you want. And so
wow.
I say the law of attraction is the what. Like, how does it all work? And I say the faster EFT tapping is the how. The processes to get it to work for you.
Right. Well, and also too, dealing with resistance, right? So if you're trying to attract something and you have continual resistance, what is that resistance, right? So do you feel like the tapping piece helps to go back to that, to look what is holding you back from manifesting to what you want for your life? Okay. So
when you say resistance, like, you want to talk about an example, like what would you say? Let's talk about a real life example.
Like resist. Okay, I'll give you an example for myself. I would like to be more in control of my day. All right, my day has a tendency to throw a lot of chaos in. Right, I've got 3 kids that are, needing help with homework, and I'm on a scheduled path every day, right? And then it throws me off a bit, and I lose the sense of calm throughout my day, because the priority for me is calm, is, taking some time for myself, but then all the chaos keeps happening throughout the day, and I don't get a sense of calm throughout my day. So I'm not necessarily manifesting that in my life. Is that a good example? Because that's pretty real life for me. And
so the resistance is for you is what? In this situation, where's the resistance? To
be able to prioritize time for myself, do some of the tapping work. I have a tendency to have some resistance to it because I prioritize my day. I see. And then chaos comes into play. Okay. So,
very good. Yeah. So we often resist the self-work that we need, or the time that we need. Like, what? Meditate for 15 minutes a day, or 20 minutes, or go for an hour walk. I got shit to do. Exactly. So we have resistance to that self-work, and a lot of that comes from worthiness types of issues, and also patterns. Again, this being busy. And so, the good news is, once you start, actually, I really recommend tapping and learning how to use faster EFT tapping on yourself. And that's what you can learn from, Robert Smith has a 5-day free course. I think, join my group and I can give you the link to his 5-day free course on how to tap on yourself. And in my podcast, you learn how to tap on yourself. But also, the resistance that you have for working on yourselves, when you start to do some of these techniques, like like what we call the happy journal in the morning. And you start to kind of set up your day with things you're grateful for, with affirmations, with general positive intentions for the day. So I have a daily routine. A daily routine is very powerful. And so let's say you start off your morning saying, with a general intention saying, I'm going to try to enjoy my day more. I'm going to be more relaxed today.
That's exactly it.
And I'm going to go with the flow. Right. Yeah. And I'm going to go with the flow a little bit more. So if something doesn't work out on my schedule, then I'm going to try to be more relaxed into that. And then if you aren't, then you can tap on that. You can tap on resistance. And then the next day you try again. So that's just
cool.
Yeah.
So there's tapping when you feel that stress, because I'll feel that off and on throughout my day. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, today's going to be a great day. And then shit happens, right? So, and then I immediately start feeling, all right, crap, tap, right? So I can start doing that. I let it go, tapping work when I start feeling that stress.
Heat of the moment tapping, right?
Heat of the moment tapping.
Now, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. And so setting my daily intentions that I am going to have a good day. And then when the day starts going south, I can do the tapping work, right?
Yeah. Well, let me jump in real quick.
Okay.
So also your intentions are very important too. It's good to back off of the specifics, in my opinion, on the daily intentions. So general intentions. So I'm going to have a good day. That might set you up, because if you don't have a good day, you say, oh, I didn't hit my goal. I didn't hit my intention. And that can make you even more frustrated. So you can say, that's why I mentioned, I'm going to go with the flow today. So if something goes off my schedule, I'm going to learn how to be okay, and I'm going to tap in the moment. I'm going to look for things to be grateful for today. I'm going to try to be more relaxed today. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to say nice things to myself today. I'm going to say nice things to my kids today. I'm going to make my kids laugh today. I'm going to be more, and I'm going to tap in. So if I say, I'm going to get this, and this done today, that's kind of in my opinion, very specific. And depending on how you approach your intentions, it could be something that causes you even more stress.
I can see that. The way you just worded that is, in saying go with the flow, it makes you feel a little bit more less more open to be able to bend easily as shit hits the fan, throughout the day.
And another thing I want to add, and with a high level law of attraction principle, is the shit that happens isn't shit. It's for you.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
So things don't happen to you, they happen for you. So in other words, the shit is always a reminder. Resistance is a reminder of, oh, wait a second, I'm not really flowing like I'd like to, and I'm not really going with and so when shit happens, it's just a gift to tell you, okay, I got some work to do. Maybe I got some tapping. Maybe I can tomorrow try to relax more.
That is amazing. That's really good. I like to think of shit as flowing as a good thing, right? So I got to start thinking shit is a good thing. Shit
is good. So if you get anything out of this podcast, shit is good.
Shit's great, guys. Enjoy it.
Good shit.
I got to ask you, you mentioned the Happy Journal. What is the Happy Journal?
Okay, so this is created by Robert from Faster EFT, and there's 5 parts of the Happy Journal. And again, I have a podcast on that. Robert has information on that. But it's just real quickly, there's 5 things you do every day. Or you don't have to do all 5 of them every day. But it's 3 to 5 affirmations a day.
Okay.
3 to 5 positive affirmations that you resonate with. 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. And it can be more than 5. Yeah.
Mark, can you give an example of can you give just like a couple positive affirmations? Yeah.
Okay, so my affirmations is like Abraham Hicks says, nothing is more important than that I feel good. And that is that affirmation right there is, there could be a book, and I need to write something on that, but there you can have a religion based off of that principle. Nothing is more important than that I feel good. Because if you go through your day and you're doing something and you're being mean to yourself and, oh, I didn't achieve this goal, and then wait a second, nothing is more important than that I feel good. What can I do to feel good? I can reach for better thoughts. I can tap. I can meditate. I can breathe. I can relax. I can go for a walk. So anyway, that's one of my favorite affirmations.
That's really good.
Yeah. Nothing serious going on here is another one.
I wish we could write
Everything's
these
always,
down, Tiffany. We need to write these down because these are really good. Sorry.
yeah,
Can you repeat that again? Nothing?
nothing serious going on here.
Okay.
There's nothing serious going on here. Everything's always working out for me. Even when it seems like it's not. Even when the shit hits the fan, everything's, yeah.
How many people can't do that? I can think of right when you said that everything's working out for me, that is not a common statement. I don't,
Right.
I hear a ton of people say, nothing ever works out for me. I have bad luck.
Right.
I mean, what you just said is like, I thought you said not everything is not working out for me. I thought that's what you said, but you actually said the opposite. So
Right.
interesting. Okay. Everything is working out for me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, things like that. I'm not alone in this. I like to feel like I have, the universe is on my side. So when we try to do things alone, it's really hard, and that's when we get tired, and that's when we're stressed. And the actual relaxing into the idea that, wait a second, I have help here, and how do I receive that help? And how do? Well, actually, it's a good segue into another principle, if you don't mind. If I talk about
no, that's good.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
But okay. I know we were talking about the happy journal, but those were some examples of.
So it's 3 to 5 positive affirmations. Okay.
Right.
And then what else?
3 to 5 things you're grateful for.
Okay.
Thanks, Laurelina. And then 3 to 5 goals for your life. Or they can be, I like to add positive general intentions for the day if you're doing it as a daily process.
Okay.
So goals and dreams is the official name of it, goals and dreams.
Okay.
And then something that's called positive emotional states. So positive emotional states, you do two things with that. Number one, you write, when you're tapping and you rewrite a bad experience, a past quote unquote bad experience, you write something good. After you tap something down to a 0, you rewrite it to say, how would I prefer this to happen? And you tell a positive story. You write that in your positive emotional states section of your happy journal.
So it's the rewrite of when you do the we call it the flipping, right? So you're going back to review that, correct? You're going back to review that new written recall. Right? Memory.
Right. So I'll just say this. So basically, if you have a memory and you're tapping on it and you want to rewrite it, you want to work on this memory. Let's say it's a car accident and you tap it out to where you're feeling good. This car accident doesn't bother me anymore. And then and at that point you rewrite it. Well, what would I prefer to feel about driving in cars? And you say, well, cars, I'm so grateful to have cars, and I'm always relaxed in cars, and they take me to adventures. So that's my new story about cars. So you write that down in that section. Positive emotional states. Right?
Okay, that's good. That's really good.
Right. And then the other positive emotional states is if today after this our session, I'm going to write down a great experience I had with Julie and Tiffany, supporting us on Instagram. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to say, I had a great session with Julie and it was fun. And I did, maybe I made some mistakes, but at least I shaved and,
yeah.
And I showered and I put
like
a shirt on.
Like a celebration of a win, right? Okay,
it's any good experience, any positive good experience. So if you had a nice conversation, jot that down. And so then you have a section. You can always go back to your happy journal and feel good for no reason. You have a list of all these positive emotional experiences, and you start to build your life from more positive than negative.
I think that's extremely powerful. Because
powerful.
How often do we mull over the crap that went wrong throughout the day and leave no time to focus on what went well? And my kids will run in the room and tell me everything that was awesome today, and and they never focus in except as they've gotten older. My oldest boy will start throwing in, this went wrong. But my younger ones are like, I won the spelling test. I was the first in line to, I got called as a line leader. And I'm like, my gosh, what didn't go right today? But that's what we probably need to do, is go back and be in that type of mindset of, there's a lot of wins throughout the day that we really need to capitalize on.
Absolutely. So this happy journal, this is part of the high level law of attraction things to do. And
That's really powerful.
super powerful. And again, if you're somebody who says, well, I don't want to spend all this time doing it and a daily thing, I don't know. I could be like that sometimes because I like to make things easy for myself. So what I did was I made a Google Doc instead of buying a journal. And you guys, if you want to buy a journal, of course, it's better to buy a journal and make it pretty and put pictures in it and things like that. But if you're someone who just wants to start, it's better to start than to not start. You know, so we get rid of the perfectionism and we say, I'm going to make this easy so that I have a Google Doc or an Apple Doc that I can, if I'm in with my phone and I'm in the car and I want to make an entry, I don't have my journal with me, I can just type it in my happy journal.
Smart. That's smart.
And also, I don't have to do everything every day. So I made it 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Some affirmations, some general intentions, and some things I'm grateful for. And that's what I'm going to do today. So get yourself to do something in the habit. Take baby steps so that you can actually get into it. And then when you start to do it.
No, I'm sorry. Do you do that? So you do a 2 to 5 minute type review of your happy journal, your intentions,
entries. Yeah, like affirmations. And also you can repeat these. So I repeat a lot of my affirmations. It's okay to repeat them. So like today, let's say I'm doing it right now. I'm saying, okay, let me come up with some affirmations and I focus on it. I don't even write them down anymore because I just do it in my mind now. But it's good to write it down when you're starting. So you just kind of, okay, what affirmations do I resonate with today? And then you write them down.
No, I was just going to say, for those people that are just starting and they're trying to formulate a habit, like you just mentioned, or a behavior, you could probably anchor them when you think, so in the morning, getting up and doing this type of work, right when you're in, like I have a journal right beside the bed. So I grab the journal, I look at it, I would look at my happy memories that I rewrote, and then I put my AirPods on and listen to my affirmations of my higher level belief statements. And literally it's about a 10-minute process in the morning for me. And I anchor it to get right when I wake up. So is that some of the things that you tell your clients to do, is just kind of anchor this okay, cool. Yeah. Awesome. And
the fifth part of the happy journal is called gems. So gems could be like quotes that you like, you write them down, or a picture of a lake that's beautiful. Just put a picture of it in your journal or in your document. So gems. So that's the 5 parts.
So like you could have like a place board. Have you ever heard of those?
Sure.
Can you hear me, Mark? Okay. Did you hear me? It really cut out for a second.
Yeah, cut out. Yeah. I can see and hear you now.
Okay. So you could have a positive place board where you could put it on your wall. I used to have a positive place board. It's rolled up and thrown in my closet now when I was doing the DNRS. But I think it was really helpful because I would see it and then I'd remind myself of positivity throughout the day. Is that something else that you would recommend doing?
Sure. I mean, you can do that as well too. You know, whatever you're going to do, if you're going to stick to it, like if that overwhelms you, just stick with a happy journal. If, make it simple in the beginning, but a vision board with pictures and quotes of what you would like is great too.
Okay,
I've done that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and so now if somebody were to work with you or want to hire, can they work with you and do law of attraction, or is it one or the other, or can they do both? Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
I can hear you. I hear you. It's just cutting out a little bit, but can you hear me okay?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know whose connection's bad. Sorry.
Okay.
It's not connecting well. So if somebody were to hire you and want to work with you as a practitioner, can they do the law of attraction and the faster EFT?
Yeah, they can. I mean, if somebody just wants to learn law of attraction principles, they can hire me for that. What I usually do is I do mostly tapping, and I sneak in some of the law of attraction principles if they're open to it. But yeah, I mean,
cool.
Again, if someone really wants to master the law of attraction, we can do sessions on just how to make the law of attraction work in your life. But then if I do that, I'm going to throw in tapping because I think they're amazing combinations. The most powerful, these two things is a way to get in control of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's wonderful. Now, where do they go about reaching out to you to, maybe become a client of yours? What's the best place?
Okay. Go to my Facebook group and then be friends with me there, and then we can message each other, or go to my website and I have contact info, phone number, email.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, and we'll make sure to post that on all of our platforms.
Julie, I want to say people are asking questions, so do we want to say that we're going to have questions at the end, or what do you think?
I don't know why, but I'm having the worst connection. I can barely understand you. Hold on. Let me just, yeah, there's questions popping up. I think that's what you asked me.
Yeah.
So let's
and we're going to do it later, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start. Yeah, I'm sorry. Say that right now. Can you hear me again?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start with the questions now, answering the questions.
Yes. Let's start with the questions.
Yeah.
I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
So let's see here. Is it necessary? Oh, okay. Let's start with Joni. So is it good to fake it till you make it?
Yeah. Is it good to fake it? Well, it depends. It depends, because you can either do that in a point that will work for you, and you can do it in a point that won't work for you. So I think if you follow what we're talking about as far as the happy journal and tapping and some of these law of attraction principles, really learn the law of attraction and really learn how to tap. That's the best way to do it. Fake it till you make it, maybe, but if you're not doing things with this, then it's not going to exactly work. If you're fooling yourself, I don't know if you can. I'm just going to keep talking. I'm not sure if you can hear me. So Tiffany, can you hear me, or am I cutting out as well? Maybe we're both cutting out. But anyway, so yeah, fake it till you make it. It just depends on how you're doing it.
Real quick, Mark. Mark, I'm going to go ahead and have you keep answering the questions. I'm going to go check and see if somebody's on the signal thing. Hold on real quick. Sorry. Guys, are you
okay? So I'm fine. Okay, so Tiffany, I'm fine. Okay. Let's see here.
It must be me. Sorry about that. Okay.
No problem.
Let's see here. Is it necessary to connect to an elevated emotion to the affirmation, or just focus on the statement?
So focus to connect an elevated emotion to the affirmation. Yeah, that's a good idea to do it. If you tell yourself an affirmation and you don't really believe it, and you don't have any positivity behind it, then yeah, that will help to put some a positive emotional state behind it. That's very Anthony Robbins type of a thing. You want to resonate with the affirmation and do whatever you need to do to resonate with it.
Okay. Sorry. Do you guys, it must be my signal. Do you guys have any more questions to ask? Let me see. I'll scroll up real quick and see if there's anything else. All right. I'm just waiting to see if anybody else has got a question.
That's okay. We can talk, and we can, if one comes up, we can, I need video or books to read. Yeah. Okay. So, so for law of attraction, my two favorite law of attraction books are, it's called The Law of Attraction by Abraham Hicks, and from the teachings of Joshua called A Perception of Reality. So the teachings of Joshua are it's very much like Abraham, and they're channeled by my friend Gary Bodley. Super good. They have 4 or 5 books out. And so A Perception of Reality by the Teachings of Joshua, Gary Temple Bodley. So those 2 books are really high-level law of attraction books. Advanced.
Are those the books that you use for when you started learning about the law of attraction?
Yeah, Tiffany asked what would I recommend. So those are the Yeah, I read them I've read all the books, all the law of attraction books and all the Joshua books in the past. So for videos, I really like the idea of studying like the teachings of Joshua. There's also A friend of mine, Astrid, who channels. She's very good. It's the Laurel. So come to my Facebook group and I can send you links to that. But you can also YouTube Abraham Hicks videos and to ask any kind of a law of attraction. Mm-hmm.
Do you talk about them on your podcast?
Yeah, I on my podcast I do. We talk about law of attraction and tapping. It's the law of attraction. It's tapping and the law of attraction. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. And I'm sure you're probably seeing questions on your end, but I'm not seeing any on mine. Really having some
so you know I will say this. I will say this, you guys. Let's just say one thing, and that is that this idea that we have, let's say, an inner self. Oh, here it goes. Do you have any guided tapping sessions we can do along with you? Yes, I do. On Jacoda, I do have that in my podcast. Tapping on one on worthiness, one on money, financial things. And then I also have long sessions, full sessions on my podcast too. Mm-hmm. But what I was going to say is we have an inner self that is, I believe, that is connected to the universe. And we're feeling good and when we're thinking good thoughts, things can happen. When we're vibrating high, when we're relaxed, when we're in a positive state, we're thinking more thoughts, we're feeling ways that our inner self would feel. So our inner self would never judge anybody, never judge ourselves, doesn't think that we should be farther along, thinks where we are is perfect, never thinks shit happens, thinks that everything is for us. And when we resonate with and vibrate with that inner self, we will get the universe will orchestrate events on our behalf and we will get inspirations for our next move. So I just want to throw that in. Been listening to your podcast and it's been so enlightening and inspiring. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing podcast. Do you do them weekly, Mark?
I don't. I do them as inspired. So if I'm not inspired, I won't. Yeah, I won't do it for a month or something. You know. So the idea is, I've been uploading a lot of. No, I've never. You guys are my first live. I've never done any live Facebook or Instagram lives.
Oh, I didn't know if you did any live. It's really bad connection. I don't know if you do any lives on like law of attraction, or is a lot of law of attraction on your podcast? Do you do live on Facebook or?
I don't do. You cut out. You cut out a little bit, Julie. But I haven't done live. But I've done just interviews. I've done interviews, and then I'll upload it to my podcast. So there'll be law of attraction interviews that I've done.
Okay.
Okay, and Laura, I apologize for calling. I kept calling you Laura Lena because I'm reading your name on Instagram. So Laura, and okay, I'm just looking at people who joined. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us.
Yes, I'm sorry. The connection's really bad on my side. I have no clue. It's very broken up, so I'm just trying
now
to
it's good.
What you're saying.
It's good now.
Oh, is it better? Okay, yeah, I'm kind of hearing it a bit better, but it must be on my side. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a really informative. I love all of your tips. And, you know, as far as like the happy journal goes, I mean, that's really powerful stuff. And it's something that we guys, you know, we can do daily. I mean, and it's amazing that to get your mind right in the beginning, for me, in the beginning of the day, can really create a wonderful day for yourself. It sets yourself up for such a, you know, a wonderful, less inviting of stress day.
Yeah.
And I'm really appreciative of all your ideas, Mark.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. You know, it's like if you're going through your day, are we enjoying it or are we trying to get shit done? Right. Are we trying to, you know, are we enjoying? And so nothing is more important than that I feel good. So we can back up and say, well, how can I enjoy what I'm doing? Now that could be a big labor. I'm not saying it's easy. You know, how can I enjoy what I'm doing? Oh my God, I got some work to do. And that's the work. Right.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, Tim said these are principles, the implement them now. Yes.
To implement now. Yes.
Yes.
And so I would say we need to relax more into what we want to achieve. We need to enjoy our days more, enjoy our moments more. How can I enjoy my children during quarantine? You know, and I don't, it's easy for me to say because I'm not a parent, but
Right.
you know, I have a bulldog. But yeah, I mean, and so if I'm not enjoying my days, then I want to work towards that.
Right. Right.
So, you know, and so that's one thing I realized as far as to attract a better job. I didn't need to, my work wasn't to find that better job. My work was to be the person that would attract the job that I want, right?
Right.
So how would I be that person? Well, I have to feel secure
Yeah.
with money. You know, how do you attract more money? You feel secure within first. I feel
Right.
secure. And how do you do that? Well, I'm grateful for what I already do have. I'm grateful for my phone, the technology. I'm grateful for where I live. I have a roof over my head. Some people are homeless, you know,
Right. Right.
you know, and then you get into a feeling state of security. So it's less about trying to make things happen and more about getting out of your own way and learning how to feel good as you can. Sometimes you're depressed. That's okay. If you're depressed, that's okay, because we don't want to beat up on ourselves where we are. Where we are is perfect.
Right.
Even if it sucks
Right.
where we are. Now, if I say where I am right now, like let's say I need a new car, and let's say I wake up and I'm depressed, and let's say I'm broke. If you're talking about resistance, if I resist that where I am, then it's more about being hard on myself and beating up on myself, and I'm just going to attract more of the same.
Right.
So if I say where I am is okay, which means you're not surrendering to that state. You're not surrendering and saying, oh, I'm just going to be broke all the time now. But what
Right.
you're saying is I'm accepting where I am now, and that is a jumping off point of where I want to go.
Right.
So we don't want to resist where we are. And
Okay.
again, that just means making peace with where we are and loving ourselves where we are. If I'm depressed, I can't force myself out of depression. So I have to
Right.
love myself through it.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are we treating ourselves with all of these techniques, with these tapping principles and these law of attraction principles? Are we impatient with ourselves? Do we think we should be farther along? Do we think things should be manifesting faster? And if we notice that we're impatient and we're not happy and we're hard on ourselves, that's the work. How can I be nicer to myself? How can I be more patient with myself? How can I love myself more and say nicer things to myself?
And that's a good point, Mark, because a lot of people that deal with chronic illness and they're on a trajectory of trying to healing themselves, they have a tendency, you know, it's a lot of like a marathon, and they beat themselves up if they haven't reached some certain, you know, goal with their self-healing. And I saw that with myself, and I saw that with my wonderful friends that are still dealing with chronic illness. And
Yes.
I had to learn to accept where I was at in that moment and start changing the mindset around it, which is
Exactly.
really, really powerful.
Exactly. Yeah. Super important. So someone said, what they say? Forcing, Tiffany said, forcing applies the pathway of not having and being without. Exactly. So forcing, you're sending out to the universe that things are hard and I have to make things work and I don't have it. So you're forcing means you're focusing on lack rather than abundance. Right. Having tools is so helpful to step into power rather than being pulled along a not so useful familiar pattern. Tools. Yeah. So we have Faster EFT tools. We have Law of Attraction tools. We have the Happy Journal.
Absolutely. Yep.
Meditation. Meditate 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. If you have never meditated, start 2 minutes a day.
Yeah. And don't you find, I know for myself, when I first started out with meditation, I mean, I beat myself up over not being able to sit for 30 seconds and just stop the racing train that was going on in my mind. And
you're like, everyone's like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
No, I just was going to say that seemed to be very common in the beginning when I first started, because Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra. Yeah. He was amazing to listen to some of his videos, because I would start the meditation process and then I'd beat myself up and be like, shit, I'm not doing this, because all I sit there and do is stew over why I'm not doing it right.
Everyone does that. Everyone does the same thing. And you know what they do, Julie? They quit, right?
Yeah.
So what you do is you say, all right, I'm going to sit for 2 minutes, and I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to have that monkey mind, and because I'm not used to it. So I'm just going to do it. And then every time I see myself thinking a lot, I'm just going to focus back on my breathing, let's say. And then you just, okay, and so how am I being while I'm meditating? Am I gentle with myself or impatient with myself, right? So it's that, how am I being with what the process I'm doing? So you're just saying, okay, 2 minutes a day. And then the next day, 2 minutes. And then you start to say, oh, I can do a little bit better. And it's okay. It's just a practice of it. So we say practice and patience. Practice and patience.
I see that. Yeah. And you've given some really good tools to give to people to be able to start practicing, right? And if you're on the struggle bus, guys, contact Mark. Mark can help you with this. So, yeah, he's there for you guys.
Okay, 4 minutes left.
Very knowledgeable with this and had some personal experience with himself. So,
lots of personal experience. Mark. Thank you. Yeah. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
So we have 4 minutes.
We have about 4 minutes left. So if you have any questions, go ahead and get them in now. And now my connection's beautiful. I have no clue
beautiful.
What happened.
And your lighting is beautiful, and I like your eyes, the yellow glittery things you got going on right there.
You got to give light to your face, otherwise no one will see you. So, okay, looking forward to working with you, Mark. There you go. Awesome. Thank
you.
Yay.
What's your first name? I recognize your name, but I think I see you on Facebook because I'm not on Instagram a lot, and I've ignored my Instagram account. I've just haven't done it. And I've ignored my Twitter too, but anyway, looking forward to you too, and say friend me on Facebook.
Lisa, okay.
Lisa.
Looking
forward to it, Lisa.
Honoron. Oh yes, okay. Facebook, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you guys are just on Instagram, get on Facebook. You'll be able to connect with them. He's really good at responding to you guys. I know I'm on his Facebook page. So that's a really excellent way to connect with Mark. And I know a lot of times this is a meaty topic, guys. And once you back away from it, or you take a couple minutes after the live's over, and you're like, oh, I should ask this question. Get on his Facebook page, guys, and ask him a question. He's really, really good at getting back to you, and he's going to really give you a great answer too. I'm just going to throw that out there. So, yep. Well,
Thank you.
I think we're pretty much done. Time's up, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in today. This will be on IG for about 24 hours on replay. And then we're going to download this video so you can go back and watch it, and you can listen to all the great information that Mark gave you guys. And again, if you have questions, reach out to Mark. If you're interested in taking a deeper dive, reach out to Mark. Set up an appointment with Mark. He's there for you guys. He's got a lot of really good knowledge to share, and he's here to help you guys. So reach out to Mark. You can find him on his Tap It Out Facebook group. And then you can also access his podcast on Tap It Out. I just want to make sure I have it correct.
The Tap It Out podcast.
The Tap It Out podcast with Mark Shihadeh. So reach out to him, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We really appreciate it. And Mark.
Julie, can I thank you and Tiffany? You guys, what you guys are doing and all your different platforms. I really love how you guys are helping people and bringing people together, and your sincere desire to help people with these tools. So what you guys are sharing is awesome. So I really appreciate you guys and appreciate you having me on, and I love partnering with you guys.
Oh, and we're so happy that you did it for 2 weeks in a row. So
yeah, now maybe if we really talk about it, maybe we can, move Tammy and I can be on next week. I mean, we can talk about it, maybe.
We could.
You think? No?
Yeah, I don't know. Tammy's really excited to come on. So
just kidding. Just kidding. All right. I'll have to be patient and wait for the next time.
I know. Thank you so much, Mark. And I hope everybody has a fantastic day.
Thanks, Julie.